cambric, or batiste. One of the finest and most dense kinds of cloth is a lightweight plain weave cloth, originally from the French commune of Cambrai, woven in greige, then bleached, piece-dyed and often glazed or calendered. Initially it was made of linen, later the term came to be applied to cotton fabrics as well. Cambric is used as fabric for linens, shirts, handkerchiefs, ruffs, lace and needlework. History. Cambric was originally a kind of fine white plain weave linen cloth made at or near Cambrai. The word comes from Cambric or Cambric, the Flemish name of Cambrai, which became part of France in 1677. The word is attested since 1530. It is a synonym of the French word batiste, itself attested since 1590. Batiste itself comes from the Picard batiste, attested since 1401 and derived from the Old French batter for bowing wool. The modern form Batiste Baptiste comes from a popular merge with the surname Baptiste, pronounced Batiste, as indicated by the use of the expressions toile batiche and toile de Baptiste for the same fabric. The alleged invention of the fabric, around 1300, by a weaver called Baptiste Jean-Baptiste Cambrai or Chambray, for the village of Castaigne in the peerage of Marcoing, near Cambrai, has no historic ground. Cambric was a finer quality and more expensive than lawn, denoting a geographic origin from the city of Cambrai or its surroundings. Cambric is an exact equivalent of the French Cambracine, a very fine, almost sheer white linen plain weave fabric, to be distinguished from Cambracine, a fabric comparable to the French lawn despite its foreign origin. Cambric is also close to chambray, appears in North American English in the early 19th century, though the term generally refers to a cotton plain weave with a colored warp and a white weft. Close to gingham, silk chambray seems to have coexisted. Chambray was often produced during this period by the same weavers producing gingham. White linen cambric or batiste from Cambrai, noted for its weight and luster, was preferred for ecclesiastical wear, fine shirts, underwear, shirt frills, cravats, collars and cuffs, handkerchiefs, and infant wear. Technical use sometimes introduced a difference between cambric and batiste, the latter being of a lighter weight and a finer thread count. Chambray, though the same type of fabric, had a colored warp and a white weft, though it could be made from any color as you may wish, in the warp, and also in the filling, only have them differ from each other. In the 18th century, after the prohibition of imports into England of French cambrics, with the development of the import of Indian cotton fabrics, similar cotton fabrics, such as nansuk from the Hindi nansuk, became popular. These fabrics, initially called Scotch cambrics to distinguish them from the original French cambrics, came to be referred to as cotton cambrics or batistes. Some authors increased the confusion with the assumption the word batiste could come from the Indian fabric bastards. In the 19th century, the terms cambric and batiste gradually lost their association with linen, implying only different kind of fine plain weave fabrics with a glossy finish. In 1907, a fine cotton batiste had 100 ends per inch in the finished fabric, while a cheap grade, less than 60. At the same time, with development of an interest in colored shirts, cambric was also woven in colors, such as the pink fabric used by Charvet for a corsage, reducing the difference between cambric and chambray. Moreover, the development and rationalization of mechanical weaving led to the replacement for chambray of colored warp and white weft by the opposite white warp and colored weft, which allowed for a longer warps. In popular culture, the English folk song ballad Scarborough Fair has the lyric in the second verse, "Tell her to make me a cambric shirt, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, sewn without seams of fine needlework, if she would be a true love of mine." Quote. It also appears in the David Bowie song "Come and Buy My Toys." In the lyrics, "You shall own a cambric shirt, you shall work your father's land."